podcast on the Boss Up Houston Network. Come get your questions answered. We'll see you then. And remember, lawyer up.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. It's good to see you. I hope you're as happy to see me as I am happy to see you. We have another great episode of Lawyer Up with Steve-O right here on the Boss Up Houston Network. We're giving you more great content, more great information. That's what the theme of this season is to really give you a lot of tidbits and information of things that are happening in your community so that you can take advantage of them and just empower yourself to do the numerous things that you need to do to take care of things within your life, as well as, friends and family, just things to help you out and get you through this tough time, especially as we deal with the pandemic. And this show is no different. We're giving you more information about some things going on right here in your community, local community. And we want to give you that information so that you can, better prepare yourself with whatever it is that you're going through. So, who am I? My name is Steve Okoraha, for those that are wondering. I'm an attorney. Been practicing for over 9 years. I practice primarily family law. I do business and contracts. I do estate planning, and I also do traffic tickets. So if you ever need help in those areas, you can definitely feel free to give me a call. I'll give you my contact information at the end of the show. But if you remember any of my previous seasons, I gave you a lot of tidbits that had to do with a lot of things within those categories and a lot of things outside of those categories. So feel free to check out those episodes. Also we'll be giving you more legal advice, but this episode is more of you having to get information to deal with the things that you're going through. So, and this episode is no different. We're highlighting today a very nice establishment located in Missouri City, which quickly became a local gem. I've had the pleasure of visiting this establishment, and it's top notch. It has great food, great drinks, great ambiance, great music. I had a campaign event when I ran for city council in Missouri City, and I had an event there, and I loved it. I became a fan. So it really has the elements of a good time. So I would definitely suggest that after I talk to this person, check it out and you visit this place. Especially with the summer coming and the pandemic restrictions lifting, you have something to look forward to and somewhere to go. So we are talking about Bee's Wine Bar, and we have none other than the Bee in Bee's Wine Bar, Miss Benita Billings. Welcome to the show, Miss Benita.
Well, thank you for having me, Steve. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. We have a lot of information we want to ask you, especially for those wondering how your business survived the pandemic and all of its features. But before that, we have to take a quick commercial break. We need to pay some bills, unfortunately. I know you guys want this information soon. Don't worry, I'm going to give it to you. We'll be back after a quick commercial break, and we'll get into those questions.
I just got through watching a great show on Boss Up Houston Network. Have you heard? They're bossing up, okay? And I heard they're looking for you. Any podcasters, talk show hosts, if you're a writer or producer, we definitely need you. Come aboard and boss up.
Are you a small business owner that is struggling to promote your company?
Our topic today is, what's your status?
Shoot the dice at this point.
You just shoot the dice. Roll the dice.
So,
yes.
Hey, how y'all doing? It's attorneys.
I love it. Imagine being televised on a national platform. How about being a host or sponsor on a syndicated podcast? Or being featured on exclusive promotions and interview for your product to your ideal customer? Hi, I'm Kayla Sneed, and I'm head of sales with Boss Up Houston. And here at Boss Up, we like to help small business owners and entrepreneurs advertise, promote, or become a sponsor for one of our television, podcast, or radio shows. All you have to do is click the link down below to see if you qualify. I'll be seeing you soon.
This is Boss Up Houston, where we look up, stay up, and boss up.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Lawyer Up with Steve-O, bringing you yet another great show on a Friday. Hope everyone's Friday is going great. I'm going to make it better, I promise. Well, let me not say I promise before you guys come after me. But we are definitely going to talk about an establishment that is a really great establishment. We're talking about Bees Wine Bar, located in Missouri City. We got Miss Benita Billings on the line, and she's going to tell us all about the business and how she was able to weather the storm. And get through some of the issues with the pandemic. So, first thing, Miss Benita, tell me about the history of the bar. Like, how did you guys get started, and what was that like?
Yes, but thank you for having me, Steve. So I tell the story all the time about how I've always been an enthusiast with wine bars, period, and the love for wine. And I was in law school. This is back in 97, 94, 90. I graduated in 97 from Thurgood Marshall. Woohoo, okay. And I was contemplating taking that bar, but all along wanting to open a bar. And so I chose the latter, to open a bar instead of practicing. And it's just the love for the business itself, the social environment. And so the opportunity arose in 2017 for me to open. I started the process in early 2016, and I actually opened April 1st. Yes, April Fool's Day. People thought I was a fool. I opened on the weekend, but I needed to get open. So there you have it. Bees Wine Bar was formed.
Wow. I mean, I would say that you're probably having a lot more fun now than you would have if you went and took the bar and became an attorney.
Oh, you think so? That's what I've heard.
Yeah. I definitely think you pick the more fun route, So
yeah, and that's why I have so many attorneys coming in to the bar. Yeah.
Yes. You have people like me coming in and frequenting the bar. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Sure.
What were some of the biggest growing pains initially? I mean, everyone has challenges when they're trying to be established, but what were some of those things that those sticking points that you encountered?
Well, first of all, I didn't know anything about the business. I mean, absolutely nothing about the business. I've always been an entrepreneur, so I knew how to research and do all the legalities in order to start the business, but I knew nothing of the business or rules behind it. And so I guess the biggest growing pain is learning the business. Absolutely learning the business. And so now that I've gotten through that part, it's been pretty good. I think another growing pain was just finding the right fit as far as staff is concerned. Because everyone that I wanted to work for me, I want them to be an extension of who I am in my business. Yep. And so sometimes it's kind of hard finding that right fit. And so that was probably another growing pain.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think with any small business, hiring employees is always a gamble, and you got to make sure you find the right ones that can execute your vision and exactly what you want to do. So, and of course, business itself is always, kind of murky, and you don't always know, the different things you need to do in order to make yourself successful. So I'm sure, coming out of law school and now trying to run a business and apply some of that, legal knowledge was tough. Do you agree?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, I was saying, applying some of that stuff you learned in law school to running your business. Do you think that was helpful, or did it hurt you a little bit?
Oh no, it was very helpful. Actually, one of my best classes was business law, and so one of my favorite classes actually in law school was business law. And so all of this stuff, so most of those things that we learned in law school, I was able to carry over into the business. So I would count it as a blessing that I retained that knowledge and those years of law school to carry over into the business.
Good.
Yeah, just basically just learning how to read contracts, leases, how to negotiate those contracts and leases, how to basically properly set up the business as far as your corporate standings and stuff like that. So it was good.
Yeah. No, definitely. I mean, that law school definitely, prepare you in those areas. Absolutely. So with the local community you're in Missouri City, how has the community supported the bar, and how have they become instrumental to your success?
The community has been very accepting of Bees Wine Bar, very supportive. But I must tell you that majority of my clientele are from afar. I get people from the Woodland, from Spring, from Richmond, Rosenberg, from League City, just to name a few places that would come regularly on the weekends to frequent Bees Wine Bar. Of course, yes, I do have my local supporters, and I must give shouts out to Missouri City, Sugar Land, Sienna, all those places, all my friends of the bar that live in those areas. But majority of my customers are from afar, and they come in to Missouri City to visit. Yes,
that is impressive.
It is. It says a lot. It says a lot for your establishment, meaning that they have passed so many different other places that they could have stopped. So I'm very honored by that. Yeah, by that support.
That's good. I mean, that definitely speaks volumes to the way you carry your business and the type of customer experience that these people experience, feel when they come to your bar, and they're probably telling their friends and friends of friends, and you get more people that way.
Right.
That's good. Good.
And I must say this. I must say this now that I've reopened, which I'm sure we'll get into. I have gotten more support. I think people really miss the bar being there, and sometimes we really don't miss a business until it's kind of absent from the community. And so I think that has really has been the case with Bees Wine Bar.
Okay. Did you move the location?
No, I'm still in the same location.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, speaking before of being flattered, were there any celebrities or important people that you were able to connect with through your wine bar?
I'm not known as a networker. I'm known as a social person. So I talk to any and everybody, but as far as getting into their who they are and what they do, that was never my forte until now. I have had to learn how to really, really network, and it's really a difference between being social and networking, if you understand what I'm saying. And that's so true. I've met a lot of important people. Oh my God. They have come, and then they're still coming. I just realized that they were really important people. But because it's a Bees Wine Bar, you can just see who you are. You don't have to put on no type of airs. You can let down all guards, and you don't have to say, I'm this person to feel important. We make you feel important no matter who you are. And so, but yes, I've had quite a few people come through Bees Wine Bar, and pretty honored by that.
That's good. Good. Well, I mean, I know it'll continue, and I know, a lot of different people. I mean, I see your establishment just getting more and more popular, so that's a beautiful thing. Now, in terms of, let's talk a little bit about, the pandemic specifically. That's been the theme of this season on the show. What issues particular to you did you have during the pandemic since it started?
Yes, well, I would say March, I think it was March 17th when the governor, actually our Fort Bend County judge ordered all bars to close as of midnight. It was devastating. And it has been really devastating on places that really environments like your bars, your restaurants, and stuff like that. And so it just totally affected our business. We just could not operate, period. And so we had to kind of come up with different business models to try to make it. And that's what we had to do.
Okay. Now, could you go through a little bit, not in too much detail about those different business models that you had to adapt to? Did you have to rebrand? Did you have to basically go into a different industry, to make ends meet? Like, what were some of those things that you had to do?
Right. So, no, we stayed in the same industry. But what we did is, first of all, we started off, once we were able to operate on a to-go basis. So we kind of spruced up the menu a little bit, and our community base was supporting us by coming in and buying items to go. And this was also at the time when we were able to, the governor allowed for alcohol to be sold on a to-go basis, which is something that has never been done in Texas. That's a Louisiana thing, but not a Texas thing. And so I said, y'all better act right so we can continue this,
Exactly.
And so that had been proven to be successful, but that could not pay the bills totally.
Oh, wow.
And so, that could not pay the to-go orders. Bars thrive on people coming in, sitting down, socializing, having a drink, eating, listening to entertainment. That's how we survive. And so bars we don't do well with to-go service, because once you go, you get that one order, you're gone, that one drink, you're gone. And so that's just, that it wasn't working for us in that sense.
Gotcha.
And and so what happened is that we were approached by the owner of Sugars, which I give much deference and respect to him as a restaurant owner, to approach me to see, hey, what can we do whereas both of us can survive this pandemic? And so I took my staff, my expertise in running a bar, to his restaurant, which was a larger facility, and we operated out of his restaurant so that both of our names could still stay valid and viable. We could keep our employees employed. And so we basically collaborated and made it work until we could get to a point where as we were able to come back home.
Good.
And
so Sugars is another great establishment, and I'm glad that you guys were able to work together to stay afloat. I mean, you guys are some of the shining gems of the African American community in terms of restaurants and bars and stuff. So that's good to hear that you guys were able to come together and really come up with ways to keep you both alive.
Right.
Yeah. And did you utilize any PPP or EIDL loans?
Yes. Well, originally they gave everyone the EIDL of the $10,000. So that was like in the first week or two after they announced, the closure of all businesses and the shutdown, if I can remember correctly, which we did not have to pay back. No one had to pay back. And then you have your PPP. So the problem with the PPP as far as the bar or restaurant is concerned is that it's not really for persons who have independent contractors working for, which are on 1099. You have to have a staff of a lot of W-2 employees, which was not the case for my business. It was only 1 or 2 people on W-2s. So PPP was really not a friend of my bar industry, the bar industry itself. or restaurant business, or those business where you have people, wait staff, and like that working for you. And so, yes, was I benefited from it? Yes, but not as much as like your larger entities, for mom and pop. No.
Yeah.
Your larger companies. We did an interview with MSNBC during this time, and it showed, whereas at that particular time I had not received any PPP, but I can't think of the restaurant chain that had gotten like 20 million. And so they showed where this mom and pop bar of mine and this larger chain got so much. But it was just the inequities of that. But I think because it just started, and so people started trying to break out, the kinks in the system and the application process and everything. So we eventually did benefit. We did eventually get money from the PPP. Was it as much as others did? No, by no means. It was probably enough just to cover like a half a month of of payroll. So yeah.
And that's kind of what I was hearing, was that the PPP loan, I mean, some people got a lot, some people got a little, but for most people it wasn't really enough to sustain them more than for a month or two.
Correct. Yeah.
If that, because you're paying overhead, you're paying light bill, you're paying, cable, internet, phone.
Rent.
Rent as well. Rent is the biggest one. Yep. Rent is
the
definitely the biggest one.
Yeah.
And that will swallow up a lot of the funds. It'll go very quickly. So.
Oh my God, yes, especially with the lease that I had. Yes, it would, in the area that I'm in. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, what tips do you have for other fellow restaurant and owners and bar owners to survive another downturn in the economy? Just in case something like this were to happen again, God forbid. But what are some tips that you have for others that are in the same industry as you are?
Well, I think this is the best time to renegotiate your lease. Best time to renegotiate your lease. Best time to put in place some financial stability behind your business, and just kind of cover yourself in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice, because a lot of people, a lot of businesses, especially in the food and drink industry, they were having a lot of problems with their landlords because their landlords weren't giving any type of leeway or slack in terms of them not being able to pay, and it costs a lot of businesses to shut down. But definitely, as a contract attorney, I would definitely say, read your lease, try to renegotiate it, make sure that, what exactly the act of God clause says in there, because that was a real big point of contention with a lot of leases was, does it qualify as an act of God? And does that allow me to get out of my lease or defer my payments, and try to see if there's a way, if there's a way you can maybe put the payments on the back end of the lease and see if you can, pay things off that way. So that's very important. Very, very good advice too.
Right. And so, in my situation, like you said in the beginning, the landlords they were wanting their full rent. And so I left my space and went with Sugars. My landlord was not very happy about that, but this is after many conversations with trying to work it out. And so just fortunately, I kept in communication with them through the pandemic, and we were able to renegotiate the lease for a much better rate that we could have done in the beginning, And so it kind of tells you too where your waste is. It kind of shows you where your waste is. And how things could have been done right and negotiated in the beginning, in fairness, in fairness.
Yeah.
And so we were able to move back in. Thank God that my space was still here, but I stayed in contact with them. And rest assured that, hey, I want to come back, but I want to come back under their terms and other terms that are affordable during the times that we're in right now. And so I must commend my landlord for being willing now to do something different, whereas we could make it back into our space.
Good. I think the biggest thing to say with that is closed mouths don't get fed. You know, you got to.
Oh my God, that is my oh my God, that's my mantra. Well, you know, but I had to learn that. I had to learn.
Yeah,
that.
It's true, and yeah. And a lot of business owners, they don't want to rock the boat and they want to make sure things are going smoothly. But you don't get benefits unless you speak up and say something, and you never know. I mean, the worst anybody's going to tell you is no. You know, it's not going to be the end of the world. So you got to speak up and advocate for yourself.
That's correct. Yes, that's correct, and that's what I had to learn to do and do. And sometimes when you're backed into this corner, like the pandemic, you know, you kind of learn how to maneuver through some things and make it happen, you know. And so that's a good thing that came out of the pandemic. Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, that's a lot of great advice. I hope you guys out there were able to hear about, you know, some of her struggles, and why we're talking about this is so that you don't have to go through those things, and you can know exactly what you need to do in order to kind of weather the storm in case we have any type of financial or, you know, health crisis like a pandemic, you know, any type of economic downturn. Definitely get out there, find out what is available to you, and talk with the people that are going to be able to give you some type of relief. It's very, very important. You know, there's resources out there. You just have to speak up and ask for them. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to, you know, hear a little bit more about the Bees Wine Bar's, you know, survival during the pandemic. And we're also going to talk about, you know, different sources of funding. So let's pay some bills and we'll be right back.
Steve, I'm in big trouble. I need your help.
I got you. Don't worry, man. What do you need? At Goodman & McGill, we offer a wide variety of services catered directly to you. So come to us for whatever issue you have. We can definitely take care of it and offer you very fast and prompt communication and excellent service. That is our motto here at Goodman & McGill. Our services include family law, divorce, child custody, child support, name changes, business and contracts, estate planning, probate, traffic tickets, wills, trusts.
Thanks again, Steve.
No problem. Anytime.
Yes, sir.
Here at Goodman & McGill, we take care of all of your legal issues. Check us out online at www.goodmanandmcgill.com.
Our new house is amazing. Great street, huge yard.
There is a bit of an issue with our neighbor's fencing. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
Which helps us save even more.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Peter.
Touche. What?
Turn down.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
If you like this video, please share it.
And hit the subscribe button to watch more great Geico videos if you... Hey, guys, can you please watch the begonias? Just planted those.
Sorry.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. We're here on Lawyer Up with Steve-O. We're talking with Miss Benita Billings, the owner of Bees Wine Bar, getting some great information about the history of the wine bar and how she was able to survive during the pandemic. As you know, during the pandemic, things were especially hard for, you know, restaurants and, you know, the food industry, because, you know, people weren't really able to go and be together the way that we used to be. You know, we kind of took that for granted a little bit, and you know, this industry has really taken the brunt of a lot of the economic downturn that happened during the pandemic. But thankfully, things are slowly getting back to normal. If we'll ever have a perfect normal, And Bees Wine Bar is one of those restaurants that was able to weather the storm and really start providing that same type of quality service and food and drinks that the community knows them for. So we're gonna talk about collaboration and support. Ms. Benita, I know you spoke about your collaboration with Sugars. Were there any other key partnerships that you engaged with in order to help your business, or you can just go into a little bit more detail about the Sugars one?
No, basically Sugars was my only collaboration during this time. Now we did get support from the Fort Bend County as far as financial support, which was very good. Their grant program was really good. KP George has done an excellent job as our county judge in making sure that the businesses located in Fort Bend County is very well taken care of and supported. And so basically that was about it, just our collaboration with Sugars.
Okay. Good. Now, while you were doing that, I mean, of course, there's going to be ups and downs. So, what were some of the positives that came out of that?
I learned a lot. I learned a lot. First of all, because he has a full restaurant, and so I learned more about that side of the business.
Yep.
And I think I was able to transfer my knowledge of actually running the bar side. And so with those two combinations put together, I think we both learned from each other. And so that was basically it. I think the downside was it wasn't my place. It just wasn't my place. And so, of course, you're just feeling, like you're away from home. You're feeling like you're visiting someone else's home. And so you just kind of follow the rules there, But he was pretty open with letting me bringing my expertise and my brand and to try to make it all work for a time being. Yes. Good.
I'm glad he was able to open his establishment up to you, and of course I'm sure you learned quite a bit with operating the restaurant side, and then that's always a beautiful thing with collaboration is that you start to learn things that you didn't know about, maybe things that you need to come back and add to your business and supplement that with your own business. Now,
right,
of course,
and I must say that although Sugars and Bees Wine Bar, two different businesses, we have different ambiance, we have different menus. It's just a different. He's Cajun, I'm American, so it was different. I have a large wine a portfolio, and so we're different, but a lot of people commended us.
Yeah.
Commended us for the fact that we were able to work together, and we're still friends.
Good.
Still love each other.
That's good. That's always good to hear.
Yeah, and so if I hear about something that's out there that will benefit both of us, of course I'm on the line saying, "Hey, let's do this. Let's try to make it work for both of our businesses." So that's a good thing.
Good. Were there any hiccups, hurdles, anything negative about when you were collaborating?
I really don't like to dwell on the negative, and because I just think that it's just a learning experience. Just a learning experience. Yeah. And so I think it's just a positive that we were both able to work together for the time being.
Good. Yeah, with any type of collaboration, there's going to be some sticking points and things that may get in the way. But it sounds like overall you're able to kind of overcome those and be successful in operating your business, and then going back to your establishment, you're able to kind of implement some new things to continue to make your establishment more successful.
Yes, thank you. And I think the biggest thing that was with our personalities. Our personalities. But we overcame that, and we just kind of did some things different, and we just respected each other for that.
Good. Well, that's good to hear. In terms of like tips you would give for people that are, considering a collaboration or maybe partnering with another business in order to help make your business more popular, just like we spoke about, things to do when, you're in a pandemic. What are some of those tips that you would say that you need people to look out for before they consider doing so?
Just making sure that you and the person that you're collaborating with are on the same page about the purpose. What's our purpose and what are we trying to, what's our end result from us collaborating? Well, we both knew that it was not going to be a lifetime partnership. We knew that, eventually Bee's Wine Bar would reopen in its original location. So it was never a secret. So be open and upfront with the person about your intentions, your intentions. And I think that way it will work out well. Yeah. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, don't hold all your cards to your chest. Be open and honest and make sure that the other person knows exactly what your intentions are. So there's no mixed signals, and you don't want any cross signals, and you get frustrated because you may not know exactly how your business is being impacted, but the other person's business is being impacted a separate way. So just make sure you're on the same page with whatever type of collaboration that you're doing. Now, going to sources of funding. We talked previously about the PPP and EIDL, but when you started up your business, how did you fund it? Did you get any loans? Did you use credit cards? Like what? Can you talk us through that? No, I didn't. I did not use credit cards. I did not use loans. Fortunately, early on, invested well in real estate, and I was able to liquidate a property, which allowed me the financial resources to open Bee's Wine Bar.
Good. Yeah, real estate is a big investment that will definitely help get you the capital. I'm trying to dabble in that myself. So
right.
Did you have any type of investors or sponsors that helped you out?
No, just my wonderful husband.
Hey, that's a big time sponsor and investor, baby.
Yes, and supporter. That's correct. Yeah. So no, it was just from investing early on, and then was able to use investment. So I can't speak on loans or anything like that because I did not in the beginning.
Okay. Did anyone approach you about trying to utilize their funds? Did anyone try to buy you out, or anybody say, hey, if I give you this, if you do this? Was there any type of stuff like that?
Well, no, not in the beginning. Now, as far as coming back to our location after through this pandemic, I had numerous of great customers that wanted to see Bee's Wine Bar reopen in its original location, and that was willing to assist in any way possible that they could to get us back there, and to them, and they know who they are. I just say thank you, and so yes, on the second go around to return to our space, there were a lot of people that were willing to invest in the business, invest in whether it was with marketing, advice, financial support, or whatever it could be. I did have a lot of those offers. Yes.
Good, and it's a beautiful thing when people want to not only just donate money, but also donate their expertise or their skills or their time in order to help build your business. I mean, that's an untapped resource that people don't always have, when they're starting their businesses. But, sometimes the people closest to you can give you everything that you need. You don't necessarily have to go out looking for it.
That's correct.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, guys, we've had a lot of great information today. I want to go to one more commercial break, and then we're going to wrap up. I'll give you my contact information, give you some last minute tips, and then we'll wrap up and have you guys enjoy your Friday. So we will be right back.
Stay up. Where we look up, stay up.
Everybody, welcome back. We are here with Miss Benita Billings. I'm going to give you a little bit more information, trying to give you as much as possible so that, you guys can be well prepared to help your businesses succeed. That's ultimately, what we want to do on this show is share experiences that can help you learn from other people so that you can avoid, the same pitfalls that some people have experienced, especially during this tough time and the pandemic and everything. So, Ms. Benita, you wanted to give some last minute tips about, how businesses can obtain funding?
Right. And so the biggest resource out there right now is the SBA. And now, as far as loans are concerned, people are thinking, oh, well, maybe I should not apply for a loan. Maybe I'm not credit worthy. Well, they have really lowered their bar as far as your credit standing is concerned in order to get you a loan. So I just want to let people know that you may be in the 500s or whatever it may be, but if you are, I think it's above a 570, under normal circumstances, if you're in the 500, 600, you would not get a loan with SBA. However, they have lowered their standing during this time. And so I would encourage you, although, during this time, our credit took a big hit. I would encourage you to still apply for loans if that's the route that you would like to go. Another thing for bars and restaurants, they have the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, which is really, really big. That's what President Biden just signed into effect when he did the restructure. I can't think of the name of the act. But out of that was the Restaurant Revitalization Fund. And I encourage every bar and restaurant, and preferably the portal is still open, to apply. Mm-hmm. To apply. It doesn't take long to apply. They have webinars on how to apply and what information is needed. That's a big thing. And then they have it's called a Shutter Fund. And this is for all of your event venues that host
Yep.
concerts and host musicals and everything. And also that
Yep.
particular fund is good for your musicians. And so go to SBA.gov because they got a little bit of something for everybody out there. Depends on the type of business that you're in. Another fund that I was approached with, but it did not benefit me, was the Lyft Fund. So there was just some information. That's some different avenues. But I would really go to SBA.gov and look at the loans, the different types of loans, and look at the different types of grants that they have out there. Encourage you to do that.
Absolutely, and the SBA website is a great resource. I've been on it myself. It has a lot of information I think a lot of people don't always know about. So everyone out there,
Right.
make sure you check out SBA.gov. You see a wealth of resources, a wealth of information on exactly the many different ways that you can help your small business. That's what the organization is established for. So definitely utilize that resource. When you can. Let me go ahead and give everyone my contact information. Like I said, if you have any questions about anything we've discussed on the show, if you want to give feedback on the show, if you want to be on the show, definitely feel free to reach out to us and give us a call. My contact info, my number is 833-529-9748. My email is contact@goodmanmcgill.com. My website is www.goodmanmcgill.com. And I am on Twitter, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and I'm on Instagram. So you have all the different ways to contact me. Ms. Benita, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here on the show and share your experience. I definitely have to come back to B's Wine Bar, one of these days and have a few drinks.
Yes, for sure. And thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. And I hope I could have helped someone. I really do.
Yes, absolutely. I think you've given everybody a lot of great information, and I know that someone out there will benefit from this. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right. And remember, when life gets you down, remember to lawyer up. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Steve podcast on the Boss Up Houston Network. Come get your questions answered. We'll see you then. And remember, lawyer up.